This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, let's get started. So, a very warm welcome to this System Center Configuration Manager online training session. My name is Kashif. I am from India. I have somewhere around 13 years of practical IT experience. I worked in multiple companies like Nomura, then Morgan Stanley, then Godrej, Sitel, and later on I started working as a SCCM architect. My primary roles and responsibility is to implement SCCM in companies. I have implemented SCCM in more than 40 companies so far. Apart from the implementation and deployment project, I am involved in this training wherein I have trained more than 13,000 students globally on Intune, SCCM, Active Directory, application packaging, Azure, and PowerShell. My um education qualification is BSc IT I did from Mumbai University. I'm a BSc IT graduate, and then I started working as a system administrator. So I worked in SCCM level 1, level 2, level 3 team. Then I was moved in SCCM architect, um, the planning and implementation team. Now, um, apart from that, I'm also doing this side-by-side training so that I can share my knowledge and experience with the people who are, you know, interested in this technology. Here is my website and blog and email address, guys. Let me take you to the next slide. Now we will talk about this training session. So how this training will be conducted. So every day we will start at 7:30 a.m. India time, right? That's the start time, and we'll be able to finish it off before 9 o'clock. Okay, 9 a.m. I'm giving the buffer time, but before 9 a.m. Hopefully we will be able to finish on daily basis, right? So 1.5 hour session, Monday to Friday. Not every day means Monday to Friday, not Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays and Sundays are excluded, right? So this time for you, um, Matthew, I think this is going to be 5 a.m. for you in Kuwait, right?
Yes, yes,
So 5 a.m. in Kuwait. So 5 a.m. to 6:30. So that's
yes.
early morning for you, but
Oh, that's okay. Fine.
that's okay. Okay. So 4 weeks it's gonna take to finish all the topics. We will do 4 weeks training. Okay, 1 month. So we'll spend 1 month to touch all the topics, and we'll do all the practical and assignment, and we'll perform all the tasks, and we should be able to finish all the topics in 4 weeks. So total duration is going to be 35 to 40 hours maximum for this weekday session. I hope it's clear, right, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let me take you to the background of this product. So, as you know, SCCM, what is the full form of this one? System Center Configuration Manager, right?
Yeah.
System Center Configuration Manager. Now, who is the vendor of this product? Who developed
Microsoft.
this product? Microsoft, right? So Microsoft developed this product in the year 1994. And what was the name before? It was SMS, System Management Server. System
System manager.
Management Server. So that was the old name the previous name of SCCM. So, and then they change the name to SCCM, and then again they change the name to MECM. And what's the full form of this?
Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager.
Microsoft, right. Endpoint Configuration Manager. So don't get confused with these names, guys. SMS was the old name, then SCCM, and then MECM, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. Now, so as you know, the vendor is Microsoft. SMS was released in the year 1994, 1.0, then SMS 2.0 in 1999, then SMS 2003 in the year 2003. Then SCCM was released in the year 2007. So Microsoft changed the name from SMS to SCCM in the year 2007. So they released System Center Configuration Manager 2007. Then later on SCCM 2007, SP1, SP2, SP3. Then they changed the name. I mean, they released SCCM 2012 with multiple versions. Now what they did, they stopped using these naming conventions like SP1, SP2, SP3. Now they are going with year and month. As you see, 15 is what? 15 is year and 11 is month. Got it? So 1511 November, right? So they released these three versions in the year 2016 in February, June and October. February, June and October. 16.202, 16.06, 16.10. These are the three versions in the year 2016. Then these are the three versions in the year 2017, February, June and October. Then these are the three versions in the year 2018, February, June and October, right? Now you see from in the year 2019 they released SCCM 1902, SCCM 1906 and MECM 1910. So from here, October last year, they changed the name from SCCM to MECM. So the new name is MECM, Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. Got it?
Yes.
And this year they have released these two versions, MECM 2002, MECM 2006. Now what will be the new version?
2010.
MECM 2010, right? And this is gonna be released in the year in this October month. You know, the technical preview is gonna be released in a few days, and then the main version will get released. Got it?
Yes.
So the latest and greatest version of SCCM is this one, 2006. Clear?
Yep.
2006 is the latest and greatest version of SCCM. So if you calculate the number of years from 1994 to 2006, right? MECM 2006. So 25 years this product is there in the market. 25 years is a big time, right?
Yeah.
For any product to sustain in the market, for any product to survive in the market. So it is the third largest selling product of Microsoft. First one is what? OS,
Windows.
operating system, Windows operating system. The second one, Office, right? And the third one is SCCM.
Kashif, every 6 months they are releasing a new build.
Yeah, every 6 months they are updating the version. They are adding some more feature. They are updating the version. They are fixing known issues. They are upgrading the SCCM every 6 months, and not every 6 months, every 4 months. You see, 02, 06, and 10.
Yeah.
Every 4 months they are doing it.
So every organization will upgrade to the latest one, or they will stay on the previous one which they are working?
Ideally, we should update to the latest one. So what we do, for example, 2006 is released, right, in the month of June. We will wait for 3-4 months and then we will go to 2006. Again, once 2010 is available, then we will wait for 3-4 months and then we will go to 2010. We'll keep on updating. Okay. In updating, it is not changing the whole entire thing. It's like just like Android mobile, right? When you update
Yes.
your Android mobile, and so look and feel, everything is same. The only thing is little bit some changes, some bug fixes. You might not be able to identify whether it is the old version or the latest version. Very few changes. Okay,
Okay.
it's not the disaster. I mean the drastic change. So you understood about the historical details, guys?
Yes.
Everyone? Perfect. Now the certification, this was the certification before, but this is expired now. You can't take this exam. There is another certification which is MD-101, but that is not purely SCCM. That is a mix of SCCM and Intune, okay? And little bit Office 365. So previously this one was specific for SCCM. Now Microsoft stopped this one. This exam is expired already. So probably you will have to wait for some more time for Microsoft to release a specific exam, or you may go with this one to, you know, get a mixed certificate. Now, what is the current market value of this product? Since you guys are going to learn this one, Mahesh is already working on SCCM, but apart from Mahesh, Ahmed and Matthew,
Yes.
you guys are learning this because you would like to to work in SCCM profile. So you should know the market value of this product. So SCCM holds 43% of market share. That means there are other competitors as well. So which is also like SCCM, right? So SCCM has 43% of market share, but the competitors of SCCM, IBM Big Fix, then you have Ivanti Landesk, then you have Tanium, right? Then you have um, Altiris, Semantic
Yeah.
Altiris, right?
Manage engine
These
is
are
also there.
manage engine, yeah. These are some of the um, competitors of SCCM, but SCCM is on the top with 43% of market share. Some will have 7%, some will have like 5%, 2%, 3%, something like that. But SCCM is this one. So almost all big size companies plus medium sized companies have SCCM. Wherever you go, all over the globe, this is the same story. Almost all big size and medium sized companies have SCCM. Okay, that's the good part of this one. And if this SCCM is deployed hugely all over the globe, they will also need SCCM administrator to work on
Yeah.
this tool, right? So people who are working on this profile, SCCM administrator as system administrator, so they are earning somewhere around $45 per hour. Okay, that is this figure. This is the average salary people are getting in Americas, in Canada, in Australia, in Europe countries. I don't know about Gulf. Okay,
Mhm.
probably you might know better than me.
Yeah,
Matthew?
here it is actually like all together the profile is not one
Right.
person on a SCCM guy. It's like rather than one person will be handling everything.
Yeah, here in US and Canada as well, SCCM profile, dedicated SCCM profile, you will only find, I think, only in India,
Mm.
not in any other country. Dedicated to SCCM, that guy will be working only on SCCM application deployment or only on patch deployment. But in other countries, US,
Mm.
Canada, Australia, Europe, very rarely you will get any position wherein you have to work only on one single profile. So that's the reason I mentioned system administrator, not SCCM administrator.
Yes.
So per hour, I have my students who are earning $90 as well, $80 as well per hour, right? So, but the average one is 45 US dollar per hour, and lots of opportunities are there in Indeed and Dice Portal. These are the two leading job portals in US and Canada. For Gulf, you probably go to Naukri Gulf,
Yeah.
Matthew,
Yes.
or
And there's
Bait,
bait.com.
Bait.com. Yeah, probably these are the leading job portals. I don't know how effective those job portals are, or you may be in touch with the consultant, those
Yeah, yeah. Like that.
who are in, you know, in this field. India, you go to Naukri, or at least you keep your profile on all the job portals, guys.
Mhm.
That's what my suggestion is. Okay, keep your profile on all Naukri, Monster, whatever the job portals are there in India. Keep your profile there, so that you should not, people, if they are looking, they will be able to find you,
Yeah.
because social media is very effective these days, right? So you have to advertise yourself. SCCM, or you have good knowledge, that's fine, but you have to also market yourself, advertise yourself. Then only people will start calling you. Okay, so that is the opportunities, guys. Now, you might be thinking that um, since there are many other competitors of SCCM, so what will happen to SCCM? SCCM is not going to go away uh, from the market at least 10 more years, right? Because other competitors, they don't have those features. The way SCCM is deployed all over the globe, the number of features what SCCM has, none of the competitors of SCCM have those features. So if any product comes in the market which is better than SCCM, right, and suppose people will start taking that product instead of SCCM, then it's going to take at least 10 years to remove SCCM from the market, because it's hugely deployed all over the globe, whether it's a big size or medium size company. You may not find it in small size companies. So it's an evergreen product, guys. So the only thing is you have to arm yourself with knowledge and keep your profile ready for the opportunities, and then you should definitely get the opportunity. Clear in this opportunities slide, guys? Any question?
Yeah. No.
No question.
So we have sites and site roles in SCCM, just like in Active Directory, domain controller. We have some FSMO roles, right?
Yeah.
Anyone knows about FSMO roles? Matthew, you worked
Yeah.
on this?
Not much, but I think like it's the OUs.
Yeah, so FSMO roles, some of the roles are either you can put it on the same server, you can distribute it to multiple servers. So for authentication, for keeping the record, there are multiple roles available in domain controller. Similar concept here. We have sites, right? We have what? Sites and site roles.
Yeah.
in SCCM. So there are 3 sites in SCCM. So central administration site, CAS, primary site, and secondary site. Then we have multiple roles, which we will talk about them later on. Okay, how many site roles? I think there are like 16, 17 site roles available in SCCM. Got it?
Okay.
So there are 3 sites which are central administration site, primary site, and secondary site. All are installed on Windows Server 2012 or greater. So suppose you would like to install central administration site or primary site or secondary site, so you need to install it on a which one?
Windows Server 2016, 12 and above.
Windows Server 2012
Above.
or above, yeah, greater. So anything which is 2012 or greater than this one, 2012 R2 16, then you have server 2019, then server 2004. So let's say you can install CAS here, central administration site, and this becomes your central administration site server. You can't install more than one site on a Windows server. You cannot install primary site on the same box. Since central administration site is installed, you can't install primary site. You will have to use a separate server for primary site. Got it? You have to use a separate box for secondary site. Any question?
No.
So central administration site, primary site, and secondary site, these are the sites. Now central is what? Central is optional site. That means you may or may not have this one in companies. This is also optional. You may or may not have this one, but this one is mandatory. Primary site is mandatory. Without this, you can't manage devices. So SCCM is what? What do you think what SCCM is gonna do? What will be the main feature of SCCM? Can anyone tell me?
Deploy applications.
Right.
And
So
manage
it is
the
a, yeah. So
systems.
it's a deploy. It deploys applications. It deploys patches. It deploys operating system. It deploys policies. It's a deployment tool. Got it? Second, go ahead. You were saying
Is
something.
managing the devices.
Right. So it manages the devices. So it's an enterprise device management solution, right? So it manages devices, right? Then it push configurations. So let's say some device needs some configuration, some device needs a certain configuration. So we can create those configuration and push it to the devices. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the basic understanding of SCCM. SCCM, suppose you have thousands and thousands of devices, right? Let's say you started a company and you have like 5,000 computers and you need to install Google Chrome. What you will do if you don't have SCCM?
One by one, you have to install manually.
Yeah, either manually or you try group policy. The group policy does not give you any report in how many the computers the application is installed and all. It is very limited. So you will end up installing manually in some of the computers. So you need SCCM so that you can deploy application to the computers either in one shot to all these 5,000 computers, or you can schedule the deployment in phased manner. So 1,000 in today, another 1,000 computers will get tomorrow, another 1,000 will get day after tomorrow or something like that. So you can schedule the deployment. So you can deploy application, you can manage these computers, right?
Yeah.
And you can send configuration. So SCCM is basically helping you to deploy and manage the devices. Understood?
Yes.
Now we'll talk about this central administration side, primary side, and secondary side tomorrow. Since it was just an overview session, so I'm not going into details, guys. Now I'll talk a little bit about the architecture of SCCM. So suppose you started a company in Houston. Let's say company name is Pepsi, right? So in Houston, there are like 50,000 devices. For example, 50,000 devices in Houston. So you need what? And all the devices are located in one building, one location, on all on LAN network, right? Local area network. You don't have any computers outside.
Yeah.
So we need what? We need a primary site, a standalone primary site to manage all these devices. Got it?
Yes.
So that primary site is going to manage all the devices. This architecture is for small size companies. The second one is for medium sized companies. Okay, medium sized companies. So you have 50,000 devices in Houston, and then you have secondary site here in Seattle and another secondary site in Boston, because the devices in Seattle and devices in Boston, they are on WAN network, wide area network, right?
Okay.
They are on WAN network, right? WAN network. So the primary site will not be able to manage the devices in these location. So that's the reason we need a secondary site in the branch offices. So wherever we have branch offices, we will put secondary site, and secondary will report back to primary. So this kind of architecture you will find in 99% of companies. Almost everywhere you will find this kind of architecture: primary plus secondary, primary plus secondary. So primary in a location in headquarter, most probably, or in the location where the data center is located, and the secondary site in the branch offices. 99% this kind of architecture. Third one is for big size organization like Accenture, Deloitte, IBM, wherein you have more than one primary site. So this kind of architecture, where you have more than 100,000 devices all over the globe. Let's say HCL or IBM, they have 300,000 devices. HSBC, they have 300,000 devices, more than 300,000 devices all over the globe. So we use a CAS on the top. Central administration side will be sitting on the top of the hierarchy, and then multiple primary 1, primary 2, and primary 3. So the primary 1 will be for Americas region, primary 2 for Europe region, primary 3 for APAC region, Asia Pacific region, and all these will report back to central administration side. Got it?
Yeah.
So central is sitting on the top of the hierarchy, and central is needed only when you have more than one primary. Otherwise central is not needed. If you have just one single primary, you do not need a central administration site. In this case, we did not need a central administration site. In this case, we did not have a central administration site. But the moment I added more than one primary site, we have a central administration site on the top of the hierarchy. And then we have primary and then secondary. These are secondary, which will be reporting back to this one. This secondary will be reporting back to this one. So this example is for big size organization, wherein you have CAS plus PS plus SS, central plus primary plus secondary site server. Any question in this?
The secondary site will be reporting to primary only, right? It will not go directly to the CAS. Right?
No, secondary cannot talk to CAS. That's not possible for secondary. and
Okay.
secondary cannot exist without a primary. Primary can exist without a central, but secondary cannot exist without a primary. Secondary is like a child of primary.
Okay.
So without parent, can a child exist? No, right?
No.
So as you see in the third picture, in big size organization, we have CAS, but other picture we don't have CAS.
Hmm.
This is another example. Let's say if you have small company, not a big company, small company, but there are two different branches. I mean, two different units. So one is, for example, Thumbs Up. Thumbs Up. This company is Thumbs Up, and it is the primary site of Thumbs Up, which is managing all the devices in Thumbs Up. This company purchased another company called Pepsi, and Pepsi already has a primary site. Okay, let's say this Thumbs Up has 5,000 computers, and Thumbs Up purchased Pepsi. So Pepsi also has let's say 5,000 devices. So all the devices which are being managed by Pepsi primary, this is P2 and this is P1. So P1 is managing all Thumbs Up devices and P2 is managing all Pepsi devices. Either you can separately manage these 10,000 devices, or you can put the CAS on the top, and both primary will report to CAS. Okay, and these secondary will report to this primary, and these secondary will report to this primary. So this is also possible for small size companies, but if you want to keep them together, right, in if you want to keep them with two different primary site, it's up to you. Or you can delete one of the primary site and put all the computers in single primary site. So this kind of architecture is also possible in SCCM. Got it?
Yes.
Now the database. Every site needs a database, guys. As you see, the central administration site need a database. Primary site need a database. Secondary site need a database. So data travel happens from downward to upward. So secondary will send the data to primary, whatever the data it collects from the branch offices. Primary will collect the data from everywhere and send the data back to the central administration site. If it has a central administration site, if central is not there, then primary will not gonna send the data to anywhere. Got it?
Yes.
So that is how the data travels. The synchronization and replication happens from downward to upward. Then we have site roles. These are the site roles we have. We'll talk about these site roles tomorrow when we start from scratch. Let me just take you to the features and functionalities of SCCM. Now, these are the features and functionalities of SCCM in a nutshell. I have not added all the features here, but the basic features and functionalities of SCCM. Suppose you would like to collect the hardware and software inventory details of all the computers in your company. SCCM is going to do that for you. You don't have to manually enter the details in an Excel sheet or somewhere. SCCM is going to collect the inventory and put it in the database, and you can fetch the information from database. Asset intelligence, you will be able to get the categorization of software. So asset intelligence will help you to categorize software plus manage license. You will be able to get the license, I mean software metering utilization details, in how many computers Adobe Reader is utilized, in how many computers Google Chrome is utilized, right? application deployment, this is the main feature of SCCM. This is the main feature of SCCM: deployment of application, deployment of updates, deployment of operating system, and managing content. You can deploy compliance policy baseline, and to find out how many systems are compliant, how many systems are non-compliant, you can deploy power policy. Let's say I would like to turn off all the computers in Kuwait after 7 p.m. in the evening. So I can deploy a power policy, and the computers will apply the policy on all the devices. I mean, SCCM will push the policy. Client health, you will get the dashboard of healthy and unhealthy client. Endpoint protection, you can manage your antivirus, anti-malware. Mobile device management, previously it was there to manage your iOS, iPhone, iPad devices, but this feature is now deprecated in the new version of SCCM. So role-based administration, you can deploy, you can assign roles to the SCCM administrators. So those who are good with application deployment, we will give application deployment role. For example, Mahesh is already working in SCCM. So if he needs operating system deployment role, we have that role available. We can assign that role. So he will be able to work on only on operating system deployment. He won't be able to do anything else. You can also create a custom role to be assigned to anyone. Remote management, you can remote into users devices through SCCM. Reporting, you get multiple formats like Excel, CSV, PDF. Monitoring, you can monitor the SCCM site and site components. Now, so we will do the lab setup. You all will need to set up your personal lab for SCCM. Either you do it on local laptop, either on your laptop or desktop, or you can do it on Microsoft Azure Cloud Data Center. Depends on you. If you would like to go on your computer, then your minimum configuration is required 12 GB of RAM, quad-core processor, and 300 GB of hard disk space. And if you are in IT, guys, you like IT and you would like to stay in IT field, IT world, you must have this kind of configuration in your laptop. That's a must, right? You should not you know wait for this kind of configuration that you will take it later on when you will get good salary and all. You save money, and this will not cost you more than 50,000 Indian rupees. Okay, probably less than that. You should have a desktop or a laptop so that you will be able to do your lab setup, and as and when it is needed, you can format your lab, rebuild the lab. That's how we learn, right? So that's the, if not now, if you don't have now, make sure you get it in coming months, and start working on not only on SCCM. If you are interested in learning any other IT technology like Office 365 or Exchange Server or anything, you should have good configuration. If you don't have now, you can go on Microsoft Azure Cloud Data Center, which gives you like 30 days free trial. In this 30 days free trial, you will be able to create your virtual machines in cloud, on Azure Cloud Data Center, and you can remotely connect to these virtual machines, okay, in the cloud data center. So we'll be keeping the machine either in Indonesia or Australia or California, and we'll remotely connect to these machines and we'll perform all the tasks there. So 30 days is free. You don't have to pay anything. After 30 days, Microsoft will ask you for the payment. And if you don't want to go with the payment option, then you can disable your subscription. Okay, so it's free of cost. It's not going to charge anything. Lab architecture, we will have we will have lab architecture like this. We will have one domain controller that will have the DNS plus the DHCP. So that will be our domain controller, Active Directory domain controller. Then you will have another one that is your primary site server, right? And the SQL server database. We need a database server and one client machine so that we can, deploy application patches and operating system on this machine. We might have one Windows 7 as well, right? And we will have one secondary site as well. So all these will be on the same LAN network. Clear? Any question in this lab?
Kashif, just a small question. On the previous slide you had mentioned about the features. In the features you were saying about the asset management and the inventory management. So SCCM, when they put the how does the SCCM manage a client?
In this one?
Yes. Like
how SCCM managing the client?
Yeah, means
so
like
SCCM
has to put a client on the machine, right?
Yes, so you have SCCM server, right? And you have like 5,000 or 50,000 or 1 lakh computers, right? So what you have to do, you need to install SCCM client, a small software, very basic small software in all the computers, and that client will be communicating with the server.
Again, this will be pushed by SCCM, right?
There are many methods. Either you push it from SCCM, or you can push it through group policy, or you can push it during operating system deployment, or you can push it manually. Many methods are there. Okay, so a small software, client software needed to be installed on all the computers. Then only the computer will be compliant and managed. Any question? Ahmed, any question from your end?
No question.
Mahesh?
No question.
So who has this kind of configuration? None of you?
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Who has this kind of configuration?
Yeah, I have it, no problem.
Okay, good. So either you set up your lab in Azure now and later on you do it on local lab, or you can start from local lab itself. That's up to you how you would like to go. So it's one and the same thing. Either you create your lab in your laptop or in Azure Cloud Data Center. So I have set up the lab here on my VMware workstation. So that is I have my domain controller, database, SCCM, Windows 10, and a secondary site. All these are on the same LAN network, and you can set it up here and perform all the tasks. So that is one of the things. Plus, if you would like to go on Azure, so then portal.azure.com, that is the website wherein you create your subscription for 30 days, and 30 days is free. You don't have to make any payment, and you can create your resources. You can create your virtual machines. Like if I go to virtual machine, here you will be able to create. I don't have any machines now, but you can create your virtual machines here and remotely connect to these machines from your laptop or desktop. Okay. So depends on you guys. How would you like to set up your lab? I would suggest to put it on local if you have good configuration. Otherwise, you can go on Azure Cloud Data Center. So, any question, guys, from anyone? All good?
Yes, all good.
So, we will meet tomorrow, 7:30 India time,
Okay.
7:30 a.m. Monday to Friday, guys.
Kashif, these videos, we can access these videos also, right?
Yes, so the video which is getting recorded at the moment, so every session will get recorded, and then after the session is recorded, I am gonna upload that onto my Google Drive.
Okay.
So just like this, this October month training which is going on at the moment. So I have uploaded all the videos here and I have shared the link with the participant. So all the videos will be dumped at the same location and participant will be able to access the videos from that particular location. Okay?
Yeah. So you will send us a link or something.
Yeah, I will right click and then share. You need to give me your Gmail account and I will add your account here. And that's it. You will receive the link.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, sure.
So that is how we will learn this, and I will be also sending you the documents, the materials and dumps, so that you can prepare for interviews. You can,
Yeah.
you will have your step-by-step screenshot as well. You can set up your lab as well. Any question before we wrap it up?
No, that's it. From my side.
Okay, guys. So today we just did the overview session. Okay, so we'll from tomorrow onwards we'll start from scratch. Okay, in more details. Okay, guys, thank you for joining the session. I hope the session was informative, and we'll meet you tomorrow, same time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.